Yo, what's up? What's up? We're back. We're back for another week. Once again, welcome to the So What You Saying podcast. I am your host, I.will, as of course. I'm back after a week off, unfortunately, when you have a job and this is not what you do full time. It is a little difficult sometimes because, whatever company you work for, they don't really understand that you have a life sometimes outside of what you do for them, and then you know they gotta run their business, and you can't get mad at that. You have to do what you do. But I'm back after a week off. Sorry I missed you guys, but I'm here and I have a good show lined up for you as always. So, as always, we're gonna get into what we're going to talk about. Of course, this still being Black History Month, I am going to get into, of course, another not well-known Black history figure. Uh, we're going to talk about the Grammys, the halftime show at the Super Bowl. I have some feelings on that, of course. And, of course, with Black History Month, we're going to, with the 50th anniversary, and this being Black History Month, the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I'm going to get into, you know, uh, 10 more of my 50 greatest hip hop songs ever. This week is called for the ladies and the crews. I condensed two into one, being that I missed last week. And even though I could have dedicated a week to each one, I felt like I wanted to keep on track for what I need to do and, get it done, get it out to you guys in the proper amount of time, like always. But of course, before we get into any of that, got to make sure I let you know where you can find me, as always. So if you look here on the screen, as always, you can find me at so what you saying 5 at gmail.com. That's SOWTUSAYIN 5 at gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook at So What You Saying, Instagram at So What You Saying, Twitch at So What You Saying. Please, let's get these Twitch follows up. Let's make that next move for Twitch. So let's get them Twitch followers up. Let's get my Facebook follows up. Let's get to that next level. Let's get So What You're Saying out to everybody, as always. But if you cannot find me on any of those platforms, you can always go to my link tree, So What You're Saying, that will link you to everything you need to know when you look for me. So, of course, how's everybody doing this week? I'm hoping everybody, had a good week. It's Friday, TGIF. I'm hoping everybody had a wonderful week. Hold on one sec. What the heck is with my chair? Okay, much better. Much better. So again, like I said, I hope everybody had a good week. I hope everybody, had a productive week. For those who work full time like me, hope you had a productive week. I hope you had a wonderful week. Hope your loved ones have been good. In New York, it's been weird. The weather's been good. Yesterday was in the freaking 60s. I didn't even need a coat. It's supposed to go down. And according to what I've read, we're supposed to get snow at some time this month. I don't know when, but we're supposed to. But it is what it is. I'm not going to, make it such a big deal with that. But once again, it has been nice here in New York. The weather's been crazy. Mother Nature's been on one, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm scared for when we do get this snow because I think it's gonna be bad. really, really, really bad when we do get this snow. But like I said, it is what it is. Um, so everybody sit back, relax, and enjoy what I got for you. So wait, hold up. Let me get this here up. All right. So first things first. Um, let's start with uh, Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance. First off, I feel like everybody is there's people are making too much about her performance. I thought it was good. Like we have people like Goldberg who said he was disgusted. Goldberg, if you don't know, is a famous professional wrestler. And he said he thought it was horrible and it was disgusted. And most of the people that I looked at on my Facebook timeline and Instagram have all enjoyed Rihanna's halftime show. I, like I said, I don't have. I'm not mad at it. She did a good job. I mean, granted, I want people to understand something. If it's not for you, you don't have to watch it. That's how I feel about what Goldberg said. That's how I feel about what some other people said. It got uh, it was viewed by 113 million people. Like Rihanna hasn't been hasn't performed. She hasn't put out any new music or anything for a very long time. And for her to come back and, of course, be pregnant and do that performance, I thought it was great. Now, like I said, I want people to understand something. It's not always, you don't always have to, you're not always supposed to enjoy everything. Because, like I said, everything is not for everybody. And I feel like Rihanna got a bad rap for this. And again, I don't think it was. I don't think the black community saw it as horrible. I think most of the people that I've seen enjoyed the performance. And like I said, for her to do it while she was pregnant, kind of in the same vein, the way Beyonce did the MTV Awards while she was pregnant. I'm not understanding what everybody's big issue with her performance is. I mean, granted, like I said, the game, first of all, it came at a time with one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a long time. Because for those who know anything about the Super Bowl, know that the Super Bowl is usually a blowout. It's uninteresting. So most people, turn away and stop watching at a certain time and be like, nah, and then they come back maybe for the halftime show, and if it's good, they'll watch. If not, they'll stay. So most of the time, it's not, the Super Bowl is very interesting. But you had a very good Super Bowl this year. You had a very, 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 very good halftime show. And for everybody who is, getting on Rihanna, for whatever reason about her performance, I don't see the issue with it. I don't see the problem with her performance. Like, I mean, what more could she? What you want? She's not Beyonce. Yes, I admit I'm more of a Beyonce fan than Rihanna fan. Rihanna has some joints that I do like, so I'm not even gonna say, oh, I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, I'm a fan because, like I said, she has music that I like very much. But I'm still trying to figure out what everybody is having such a big issue about. .com. That's SOWTUSAY and 5 at gmail.com. Help me understand what the problem with her performance was, because I didn't find anything wrong with it. And I continue, unlike there's some people who are out, like there's public figures, like I said, Goldberg. There's a couple other public figures that didn't enjoy the performance. Goldberg said it was disgusting, but I feel like she did a very good job. Like, to me, it was like she did what she had to do. She did everything she was supposed to do. She made it enjoyable. I mean, how much more can you? What more can you ask for from the young lady? And especially when she did the performance while pregnant. I'm not understanding what more you could ask for from her. So that's my thoughts on Rihanna's performance at the Super Bowl. Like I said, I think people are doing too much or making too much out of it. It's not a big deal, not a big issue for me. But like I said, she did a wonderful job, and I'm looking forward to seeing if she's gonna put out any new music. Because to be perfectly honest, um, I'm very interested just to see if she. I mean, I know she's pregnant, and you know she's got her Savage Fenty line. She really doesn't have to. Like, she's a billionaire now, so really, she's anything she wants to do, she could do it at her whim. But I'm interested. I'm interested to see if that she's gonna, you know, put out any new music. Because I'm pretty sure, even though she hasn't put out anything or has been putting out any music, you know, in the recent, I'm pretty sure she's been recording music. I just don't think that she's felt the need to put any out, and because of her business, her Savage Fenty line being so successful, so I feel like she's just, you know, buying her time. When she's ready, she's ready, and she has a right. The same way Beyonce has a right. Beyonce was not putting out. Beyonce was hidden for a very long time. Like I follow her on IG, and she pictures her kids, pictures with her husband. Um, but other than that, they've been laying low. Even Jay-Z been laying low. They've been laying low. They've been living life, and when they find the time or when they're ready to appear and be, you know, be seen by the world, they are. So that's my take on that. Like I said, I believe she when she's ready, she'll put out new music. I feel like she might be prepping, she might be revving up to do it, but I still think, she's pregnant again. Congratulations to Rihanna, uh, for having her and ASAP Rocky having another one. So congratulations. I'm you know, just thought I would give my 2 cents on the halftime show, because I just feel like people are making too much of her performance. And like I said, I think she did an excellent job. And again, I'm not mad at what she's doing or what she did in her performance. It was actually a very visually taking performance, with her coming in from the top of State Farm Stadium. So that's how I feel about that. Um, Before I go get into my thoughts on the Grammys, I'll leave that till just before we before I do my get to my list because I have my own feelings about that as well. So let's get to my uh, lesser known Black History figure for this week. Um, as of course, I have been, you know, researching history figures outside of, the people we do know, the Rosa Parks, the Martin Luther Kings, people who have been instrumental in Black history and don't get the same type of recognition that the other Black history figures get. So as always, this week's lesser known Black history figure is Dorothy Height. So who is Dorothy Height? Let's get into it. Dorothy Irene Height was an American civil rights and women's rights activist. She focused on the issues of African American women, including unemployment, illiteracy, and voter awareness. Height is credited as the first leader in the civil rights movement to recognize inequality for women and African Americans as a problem that should be considered as a whole. She was the president of the National Council of Negro Women for 40 years. So here's the woman that didn't separate the issue of black women's rights and black people's rights, which I'm glad because those shouldn't be separate issues. They should be dealt with at the same time. Shouldn't matter that you're a black woman. You're still an African American. You're still a black person, black or brown person. And for the problem I have nowadays is that a lot of our issues as black people, they separate them. So what it is they separate the ladies, the black women, black and brown women, from black people. Like they're a whole separate other race out, and they're not black just like the rest of us are. I feel like we need to get back to, okay, we are one and the same. And I need for after I get through this, I need for black people to be on my side for this one, especially my black men. So I'll get into that take after I get through this little biography for Dorothy Height. Dorothy Height was born in Richmond, Virginia on March 24th, 1912. Now, March is a month for me. Is a Next month will be a little tough for me. I will not make any unknown calls about it. It's not only my grandmother's birthday, but my great grandmother's birthday, and they were both very important to me. And I don't want to, you know, convolute this issue, but it is a very tough month for me. I lost them both. I love them very dearly. They helped, mold me into a better man, to a better father. So, you know, it's a little tough for me. But of course, I will make it through because they made me strong enough. They given me the strong enough will to do what I need to do and to follow any dreams I may have, especially doing this. As at one point, I never thought I would be doing this. So they are two of my biggest inspirations on the face of this earth. But back to Dorothy Height. When she was 5 years old, she moved with her family to Rankin, Pennsylvania, a steel town in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, where she attended racially integrated schools. Height's mother was an active in the Pennsylvania Federation of Colored Women's Club and regularly took Dorothy along to meetings where she established her place in the sisterhood. So that's wonderful, and that's another thing where it's another thing I have a feeling about before I move on. I always hear that men with their daughters, and I agree 100%. As a father of a 15-year-old young lady, I feel like my place is to always be there for my child. I do things where most people be like, you're spoiling your child, but I'm not. I'm actually, showing her what a man is supposed to do. I want her, granted, you don't really want your children to start, especially men with your daughters and women with their mother. I mean, men with their mothers. You don't, or boys with their mothers. You don't really want your children to start dating because you kind of feel like they're trying to find somebody to replace you. But I also feel like men should be showing their sons how to be men, and women should be showing their daughters how to be respectable young women in this society. That's why both are needed. Because a woman can't teach a man how to be a man because a woman is not a man. I don't care what women talk about, oh, I'm playing both roles, father and mother. No, you're playing one role. You are the mother. You can't really teach your son how to be a man. You could teach him how to be respectable to women, and you could raise him to be a respectable young man to women. But you can't really show him how to be a man. You have the father, that's a father's role with their sons. And it's the same vice versa with fathers and their daughters. You can teach your daughter how to choose a good man. I remember something that my daughter's mother told me that still sticks with me, that I think makes me go a little harder with my child, is the fact that men, your daughters are you are the really the first one your daughters fall in love with, which is true. You are the first man your daughters fall in love with. And at the end of the day, if you're not showing them the way that a man is supposed to act towards a woman, no matter what your beef is with your child's mom, you still have to show your daughter how to be respectable towards women. And this is why, even though there are times when me and my daughter's mom, I don't really, we don't see eye to eye. Um, my daughter will never see me disrespect her mother ever in the history, in the history of niggerdom, never. And going back to this, it's also up to the mothers to show their daughters how to be respectable young ladies in the society. See, where Dorothy Heights' mother did was she took her along. She showed her the way. She showed her what a respectable young woman should be in the society today, in that society at the time. And I think that I love that her mother at an early age took her and showed her a sisterhood. Because really, that's what it should be, a sisterhood. The same way it should be men in a brotherhood, it should be women in a sisterhood. And women should be able to show their daughters what a sisterhood really is supposed to be like. And that should help inform and help their daughters choose their friends better. So that's all I've got to say about that. But moving on, Hype's long association with the YWCA, the Young Women Christians Association, which is what YWCA stands for, same way YMCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association, began in a girl reserve club and Rankins organized under the auspices of the Pittsburgh YWCA. An enthusiastic participant who was soon elected president of the club, Hype was appalled to learn that her race barred her from swimming in the pool at the Central YWCA Bridge. Though her arguments could not bring about a change in policy, in 1920s Pittsburgh, Height later dedicated much of her professional energy to bringing profound change to the YWCA. So early on, as you can see, she made it her business to basically try to bring about some change. Like black women couldn't swim in a pool. Like why? What's the issue? So as you can see, from an early age she was building up towards something bigger, and she, took on already at an early age. She took on I guess you want to say, an activist role. So she had begun early. It started for her early, and she did not take on the challenge, which some people don't do today, but that's another thing I will talk about later on. While in high school, Height became socially and politically active in anti-lynching campaigns. A talented orator, she won first place and a $1,000 scholarship at the National Oratory Contest held by the Elks Height graduates from Rankin High School in 1929. So the way we look at Martin Luther King as a great talker, great orator, she had the same thing. She was a great talker, great orator. So she was she she was active. She was out there in these streets getting it done. And that's what people need to understand. And everybody, again, I'll talk about that at the end. So on to the next slide. From 1934 to 1937, Height worked in the New York City Department of Welfare, an experience she credited with teaching her the skills to deal with conflict without intensifying it. Now, I'm going to stop right here before I go back and finish. And this is something that we as black people need to learn a hundredfold. I understand there are times when there are people that are wrong. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, as a black person, when something's wrong, you know, you shouldn't call it out. But once you see the height that the situation is getting ready to be escalated, we should learn as black people. Let me not say that because I've done it on numerous occasions. We need to learn to take the issue at hand and we need to de-escalate it before it gets worse. You see, what people don't understand is we're always looked at as animals. And the reality of the situation is, excuse me, they need to stop looking at us as animals. And the only way for them to do that would be for us to learn how to de-escalate situations. Now, of course, there's situations where they take it to the next level and we should, and then the consequences are what they are. And I'm sorry that a lot of times we have to deal with this. But we need to learn as black people to not escalate situations and to de-escalate them and make them and turn them to our advantage, because they look at us as animals. And in this day and age, we have to learn that, you know what? It does not matter whether we're right or wrong or whether they're right or wrong. Let's de-escalate the situation, because especially in things with the cops, they have guns. And even though we just had the Tyree Nichols thing, rest in peace, Tyree Nichols, where they beat him to death, pepper sprayed him, and all that, they still have the one thing that could end your life in an instant, and that's a gun. So just, I want people to be mindful that we as people need to learn, we as black people need to learn to kind of try to de-escalate situations before they get to points where, to the point of no return. And that's all I'm saying on that. But moving on, from there, she moved to a job as a counselor at the YWCA of New York City, Harlem branch, in the fall of 1937. Soon after joining the staff there, Height met Mary McLeod Bethune, and Eleanor Roosevelt at a meeting of the National Council of Negro Women, the NCNW, held at the YWCA. In her 2003 memoir, Height described the meeting on the fall day of the redoubtable Mary McLeod Bethune put her hand on me. She drew me into her dazzling orbit of people in power and people in poverty. The freedom gates are half ajar. She said, we must pry them fully open. I have been committed to the calling ever since. The following year, Height served as an acting director of the YWCA of New York City's Emma Ranson House residence. So she got, there was another, Mary McLeod Bethune basically solidified for her that she had to be a part of the movement to help African Americans, and particularly African American women, gain their freedom, gain gain equality. That's the word I should be looking for, equality. Women, men, and any person of color. So that meaning helped form her and make her the person, and make her a better person, and show that she had to be a part of this fight. Excuse me. In addition to her YWCA and CNW work, Height was also very active in the United Christians Youth Movement, a group intensely interested in relating faith to real world problems. Now, I understand that part. And it is that we are, we do have issues where we need uh, faith sometimes, and there are people who are not going to believe in what I believe, and there are people who believe differently. But I also believe that, you know, sometimes there are situations that call for just having a little faith, and that's all I feel about that. To the next. In 1990, Height, along with 15 other African Americans, formed the African American Women for Reproductive Freedom. Now, this is this is big, as what we have going today is a fight for women and their abortion rights. As we all know, um, they're trying to cut down, these Republicans or these white men with money are trying to do away with abortion rights in the United States of America. So I think in this point, people need to understand, and we all need to get in this battle, because nobody should give a woman, nobody, it should be nobody's right to tell a woman what she could do with her body. Like I said, if I was able to get a woman pregnant and she decided that she wanted to have an abortion, then I could tell her, yo, it would hurt, but I can't I can't tell her what to do with her own body. And this is part of a fight that we all need to take part of. Not just me, but everybody. Whether you believe in it, but whether you believe in abortion or not should not be the issue. The issue at hand is If it's you, what's next? They may tell you what you can't do with your body. Telling you can't have surgery on your toes to fix something that's clearly fixable. And I feel like the people who don't believe in abortions should join this fight only because eventually it will go from having abortions to something as simple as being able to remove a tattoo off your body. And nobody should be able to tell you what to do with your body as a female. No man, no next woman, nobody. That is your body. That's between you and your doctor. Height received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Bill Clinton in 1994. Height's 90th birthday celebration in 2005 raised $5 million dollars towards funding the NCNW's mortgage of their Washington, D.C. headquarters. The Dorothy I. Height building. Two notable were Don King and Oprah Winfrey. So, see, hey, look, two people, Don King and Oprah Winfrey. As we all know, Oprah's stamp of approval is like crazy. So if you stamp by Oprah, you know, they both donated to get up to that $5 million. Height was recognized by Barnard for her achievements as an honorary alumna during the college's commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Brown versus Board of Education decision in 2004. She was also well known for her hats and hat collection, many of them made by a black Washington, D.C. milliner, Vanilla Bean, one of which was featured Height's USPS stamp. Portions of her hat collection have been shown in museums. So pretty much, here's a woman that did her thing and was well known for her hats. I mean, that's kind of like women being worn for their wardrobe. That's nothing new at all. So everybody, you know, so it is what it is with that. Last slide of the whole thing. According to a family history DNA analysis performed by African American Ancestry Inc., which everybody is now trying to, you know, find their DNA, find their ancestry in their DNA. A Heights maternal line has a root among the Temi people of modern day Sierra Leone. Don't know how to pronounce that. If I screwed it up, sorry about that. Dorothy Height never married and had no children. So, hey, she walked tall alone. On March 25th, 2010, Height was admitted to Howard University Hospital in Washington, D.C. for unspecified reasons and under protest because she had pending speaking arrangements. So basically, they protested her going to the hospital because she was sick. Dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Uh, she was sick. But here you go why she needed to go to the hospital. She died less than 4 weeks later on April 20th, 2010. So you were arguing that she couldn't go, she had speaking arrangements, so she shouldn't have been in the hospital. But 4 weeks after she goes to the hospital, she dies. What is the world coming to? What is the world coming to? She died at the age of 98. President Barack Obama delivered the eulogy for her funeral. Now, as everybody knows, my president is black, and that's my president right there. And you know, it was a perfect person to deliver eulogy. I bet you it was heartfelt and everything. Her funeral service was at the Washington National Cathedral on April 29th, 2010, which was attended by many other dignitaries and notable people. She was later buried at Fort Lincoln Cemetery in Colomar Manor, Maryland. Shortly after Height's death, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton and Mayor Vincent Gray encouraged the U.S. Postal Service to name D.C.'s former main post office the Dorothy I. Height Post Office. This honor made Height the only African American woman to have a federal facility in D.C. named after her. So there you go. Now, people need to understand this woman made it her life's mission to basically fight for inequality for African Americans and for women, which I'm telling people right now. That's what you need. That's what we need. People like that. Especially now. With all the stupidness we got going on and all the stuff that's happening to us as black people now, we need people that are willing to fight for us. Put boots to the ground and go. See, what people are not doing nowadays is that, or what they're doing, is they're arguing about what they deem as wrong for us. But I don't see them getting up and putting in the work to make the change. And that's what we need. We need to put in the work to make the change. If you're not going to put in the work to make the change, then what the hell are you really talking about? You want to see change, but you don't want to put feet to the ground for the change. What kind of dumbness is that? You can't have one and not want to do the other. So really, I say that to say this. Please, people, we all want change. We all want change. We all want our way of life, our quality of life to improve as black and brown people. But stop talking about it and then turning around the next minute and just being like, well, it needs to because we earned it. If we've earned it, show it. Put your ass on the ground and fight. Maybe I should do more. And I'm trying to increase a platform to do more. But as always, we say we want something, but not willing to put in the work to do it. So if you're not willing to put the work in to do it, I don't want to hear it. I kind of don't want to hear it coming from you. I really don't. And that's how I feel about that. So there you go. That's Dorothy Height. That's her. That's my bio for this week. We got one more to go for next week. Sorry I'm not reviewing a movie this week, but I had to do had to condense two lists in one, and a couple other things happened while I was out. So next week's movie will be, because I'm not putting a poll up, next week's movie will be Menace to Society. There's a reason for that, and we will also have two dignitaries next week, which I'm going to start working on Sunday and Monday, when I'm off on Monday, and we're gonna get it going for next week. All right, so excuse me, let me sip this water here. Let's go to the next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that everybody's fighting on online, and I seen this list and I have it pulled up, and we're gonna go through it right quick. So Billboard revealed their top 50 greatest rappers of all time in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Now, I do not agree with everything on this list. So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to tell you why I don't agree, whether I agree with it or I don't agree with it. This just is my take. But and I'm also going to tell you who got snubbed, who I really believe got snubbed off this list. But I do understand that this list is subjective. This list is like my list of the 50 greatest hip hop songs. It's subjective to me. It's subjective to the people who voted for this. It's not subjective to the rest of the world. It's put out there so that you can have an opinion, whether you agree or disagree with the people on the list. But it's put there that for you, everybody to have an opinion. I have an opinion. You have an opinion. People I know have an opinion. My daughter has an opinion. And that's what this is. It's I don't know if it's one person or 5 people or 20 people or 30 people, but this is their opinion and it's very subjective. So I want people to understand when I agree or disagree with somebody with this list, on this list, it's my personal opinion, whether they deserve to be there or not. And everybody else is going to have their own opinion on whether they deserve to be there or not. So let me get started and switch you guys over to him. And number 50 is Rick Ross. Do I agree with this? No. Should he be somewhere close to the top 50? Yes. But not at number 50. There's other people who changed hip hop that should be on this list. And don't get me wrong, Rick Ross is an excellent rapper. I'm not the biggest Rick Ross fan, but he has joints that I really do love. But Rick Ross should not be on this list. If I even Ja Rule said earlier in the week he's mad he didn't make the list. Ice-T is not on the list. Slick Rick is not on the list, and Rick Ross is. I do believe one of those should have been in that spot. Don't get me wrong. I think Ross maybe in the 50 to 55, 51 to 55 range, but he should not be on this list at number 50. Again, I believe Ice-T, Slick Rick, or Ja Rule should be here at this spot. And there's ladies that didn't make this list that probably should be there at this spot. But I'll get through to that. Okay? So Ross was number 50. Rev Run DMC, number 49. If you know anything about hip hop, then you know Rev Run should be way further up on this list. 49, he makes the list. Don't get me wrong, he definitely makes the list. But at number 49, no. He should be further up on this list, but I am glad he made the list. Mm-hmm. Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, The Furious Five. As you know, on the week before last show, the Grandmaster Flash and them made my list for the message. Melly Mel is number 48. Maybe that's the right spot for him, but he does deserve to be on the list. One of the godfathers of hip hop. Nothing more to say to that. MC Light, number 47. Let me say this. I know there's going to be women on this list that, and I'm not arguing that they maybe they should or shouldn't make this list, but none of them are lyrically as adept as MC Light at all. At all. 47 for Light? Nah, that's disrespectful. Disrespectful. Definitely. Light should not be number 47. I'm sorry. She should be further up on this list. But again, happy she made the list. But like I said, this was made by people who probably don't have no connection to the culture. Number 46, Jadakiss. Yo, I can see already. Now, I haven't gone through the whole list. I wanted to save going through the list to do it with you guys. They don't know hip hop. Jadakiss, 46. You gotta be kidding me. They didn't watch that versus battle the way he annihilated the Dipset by himself, pretty much. So, again, glad he made the list, but he should not be number 46. That is definitely not the place for him. Top 5 dead or alive. That's why he calls himself that way. Now, I don't think he's top 5. I think he's top 10. But top 5 dead and alive, yeah. Oh, no. Ice-T did make the list. Okay. But at 45, that may be, so 45, that might be a good spot for him. Queen Latifah, another female that should be further up on this list. I mean, her and Light, Roxanne Shante, the Heather B, Yo Yo, they laid the groundwork for what we got today with women's hip hop. I'm not really kind of into, but I'm not. That's just me. There's some songs that some people make, but they're starting to sound like they're starting to sound like each other now. Cool. I do like that F and F beat though. That F and F beat is kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie. But again, Queen should be further up on this list without question. Bun B, UGK, love UGK, love Bun B. He's number 43. He maybe should be higher on this list. Not much more, but higher definitely. One of him, Scarface, Ghetto Boys, Houston rap. Yeah, I think he maybe should be further. And he lyrically, woo, crazy, crazy. Redman. Now, the only reason I agree with where he's at, but not, I could agree for where he's at, but personally, I think he should be further up on the list. I know why he's where he's at, but Redman is still one of the best lyrics. If you want lyrics, just lyrics to go, there you go. That's the man. That's one of the men to go to. Personally, I think he should be higher on the list because lyrically he is insane. He people now lyrically people are now just starting to get into what he was about, and I've loved Redman since the beginning. So again, I think he should be higher up on this list, but again, he's not. So there goes that. E40, definitely a big E40 fan, but I'm not so sure that he deserves to be. He deserves to be on the list, maybe a little higher, but I think again he's another one that he deserves to be where he's at. Now, Dr. Dre, the rapper, at number 40, I'm okay with. If this was a producer list and he was number 40, I would not be okay with at all. But Dr. Dre, the rapper, number 40, I have no problem with it. None whatsoever. Luda, number 39. How do I feel about this? Maybe a little higher. Maybe a little higher. Ludacris is a phenomenal MC. Phenomenal. As a matter of fact, believe he's getting ready to go on tour with Janet Jackson, who I love to death. Phenomenal MC. Should he be higher? Yes. Where he's at, not mad. He maybe should be. In my opinion, he's one of my top 10 MCs because he has songs that I go to that I love so much. But maybe a little higher. Yeah, I could see it. But right where he's at, I'm not mad with that decision. Gucci Man should not be on this list. Should not. Under any circumstances. Gucci Man, the businessman? Yes. Gucci Man, the artist? Hell no. He should be nowhere near this list. There are artists, and if I find that there's an artist that's not on this list, and he is, he got to go. But Gucci Man should not be anywhere near this list. Common, number 37, no problems with it. Common is a spectacular rapper. I have no problems with this. I love Common as an artist. His last couple albums were a little disappointing, but Common 37. He is right where he should be. I like that he made the list. Yasin Bey, Mos Def, definitely should make the list. He's right where he's at. Have no problems with it. None whatsoever. Future should not be anywhere near this list. Nowhere near this list. Another artist should be nowhere near this list. Nowhere near the top 50 because he's not a top 50 rapper at all. I can name rappers better than him. Slick Rick should be in that spot right now. But of course, I digress. Because again, this is all subjective, but Future should not be nowhere near this list. Chuck D, Public Enemy, 34. Think he should be higher, but have no problem with him being at 34. But he's definitely should be on this list. He should be higher, top 20 at least. But, I have no problems with that. None whatsoever. Busta Rhymes, another one. He's number 33. He should be high on this list, especially top 15 at least. He has literally made a career off of annihilating people on their own songs. A career on annihilating people on their own songs. A career. So, yes, I think he should be higher. That's just my personal opinion. T.I., have no problems with where he's at. Love T.I. as an artist. That's my man's right there. It's my go-to. It's one of my go-tos. He definitely has a couple songs in my top 20 songs of all time. So he's definitely going to be on this list. Okay, so Lil' Kim. She deserves to be higher on the list. Because now, today's rappers, the way Kim was and is the way a lot of these female rappers are now. And if it wasn't for her, you couldn't do all the shit you doing now. I mean, the bitch says she make a Sprite can disappear in the mouth. I mean, and who says that on a record? Who says that? Yeah, definitely Kim should be in top 20. Her being on the list is a great thing, but not that far down. And I'm pretty sure there's two artists, or at least two female artists, or at least one that she should be ahead of that I'm not going to agree with. Lauryn Hill, okay. So, people, don't cut me off. Don't stab me up. Don't do anything and don't get mad at me from what I'm about to say. Lauryn Hill deserves to be right where she's at. And I cannot put her any higher. Because first, let's start with this. Love Miseducation Lauryn Hill. One of the greatest hip-hop records ever. 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 And she has a couple songs in my top 20. But one of the greatest hip-hop albums ever created. If you want to know anything about women in hip-hop, go to that album. Go to that album. With all these hybrids, she was the originator of that hybrid shit. And she was great at it. Lyrically, she was adept. She had a wonderful singing voice. But she definitely doesn't deserve to be higher because she made that album and disappeared off the fucking earth. Now, she went and had a bunch of kids, but she disappeared off the fucking earth. Like, are you serious? Again, I think longevity should play a part in being in a top 50 hip hop list at any point as far as an artist. But yeah, she right where she's at. She deserves. Little Kim, I think, should be ahead of her, but I'm not mad at where she's at. Number 29, Pusha T. Okay, how do I say this? And I know there's an artist above him that I'm not gonna agree with just because I detest that particular artist. But that's my man right there. That right there. That and I know you youngins are gonna be like, he's not better than Drake. No, no. In this hip hop shit, he's part of being in the top of the food chain. Him and Jadakiss deserve to be in that top 10. No questions asked. No questions asked. They have what is the pure hip hop. They are pure what hip hop really is. This is why Future should not be on this list because that's not what hip hop is. That's why Rev Run, artists like Rev Run, should be higher. But again, I digress. This is not my list. And these are people probably voting who don't have any touch with the culture at all. Because if they did, they would know Pusha T should not be 29. Another artist that shouldn't be this low on the list, Black Thought from The Roots. This is why the next part of of my list is gonna be artists who are very underrated. Very underrated. Black Thought from The Roots. First of all, I wish he would cut that beard. Stop looking like Grandfather Tom out this motherfucker. But are they serious? This list is subjective again, but are they fucking serious? Do you have any touch with the culture at all? But okay, I digress with that one too. Q-Tip, Tribe Called Quest, should be higher. Just my opinion. But he's on the list, but he should be higher. Top 20 at least. I'm very interested to see who the top 20 are. I know who number one is, and I will argue to death of why he should be number one. But Q-Tip, I think, should be in the top 20, definitely. Number 26, Big Pun. My argument against him being this high is even he died before he could reach his full potential. Like it's sad how he died, but I was really looking forward to a big and bigger album with him and Notorious B.I.G. Because it would have happened. Because both of them together, that'd have been a lyrical assassination. And lyrically, he's probably better than some people above him. But so my only argument for him not making the list, it would be because he didn't have the longevity. But yes, lyrically, he definitely should be on the list and definitely probably should be top 20 as well. Number 25, Method Man. Now, I have one problem with where he's ranked and one problem with how they came across this. Method Man, the artist, right here, should be 25. But Wu-Tang Clan should be like number 5, 6, 7, or 8. But Method Man, and to me, him and Redman should be back to back. No matter how you flip it. Because the two of them together, liquid crack. Liquid crack. But I'm glad he made the list, but I know as a solo artist, he's one of the greats, but I really think he should made him and the Wu-Tang Clan together should have made the list. And that's just me. KRS-One, again, should be in the top 20. Not mad where he's at, but I think he should be in the top 20. Curtis Blow, another one. I'm not upset where he's at. Maybe he should be a couple spots higher, but not upset at all of where he's at. Ghostface Killer should not be above Method Man, at any way, shape, or form. Although Ghostface is one of the greats, and if you watch The Breakfast Club or listen to them in the morning, Charlamagne the God thinks it says his favorite rapper is Ghostface Killer, but I think Method Man should be ranked higher than he is. But again, that's personal preference. DMX should not be at number 21. He should definitely be in the top 10. And I know there's a couple artists in that top 10 that should not be there. And X should be there. Big Daddy Kane at 20, not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. Kane lyrically, as you saw on my last show, he's got everything you need to be a superstar, and Kane is a superstar. Missy Elliott, not mad at where she's at either. Number 19. She was just different. Her and Timbaland together made music that will stand the test of time. Not mad at where she at. Maybe a couple spots higher, maybe number 15, but not mad that she's number 19. She's on the list and in the top 20 where she should be. Number 18, Ice Cube. Again, not mad where he's at. I wish NWA were together were on this list, but I'm not mad at where any of them where he ended up, and I think he should have made the list right where he's at. Not mad where he's at. Maybe a spot or two higher, but maybe not any more than that. But there's again, I bet there's a couple artists on this list that maybe shouldn't have made it ahead of Q or been ahead of Q. 50 Cent, number 17. No argument to me there. Maybe in the top 15, just because the run he had was something out of something you've never seen before. So I do agree he should be on the list. Like I said, maybe a couple spots higher, but I'm not mad at where he's at. Scarface, again, another rapper, not mad at where he's at. Again, a couple spots higher, maybe be in the top 15, but not mad at where he's at because I love Scarface, Ghetto Boys, My Playing Tricks on Me. Guess Who's Bazak? So I'm not mad at him at all. J. Cole. Okay, so J. Cole being in the top 15, he should be in the top 20. No doubt about that. He's consistent. He makes great music. He's an excellent producer. So J. Cole being in the top 15, not mad at top 20 maybe. Like Ice Cube I think should be higher than him. Scarface I definitely think should be higher than him. But, I'm not mad he's in that top 15. I'm actually glad he made the top 20 because I feel like they will, and I know for sure there's going to be a couple artists that he could probably, that I think he's better than. LL Cool J, number 14. Not mad at that at all. 13, Rakim. Not mad at that at all. Although personally, I would have put Rakim probably in my top 10 because I love Rakim. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Andre 3000. Only reason I have him not that I disagree with him being this high is that even though he's not too many artists I would take over 3K. I just don't think because he's another one. He made him and Outkast, and then he disappeared. And he's popped up on certain songs, like he's on a song with T.I. called "Sorry," and I love that song. But yeah, I again, maybe top 20 all time, but not this high. Kanye West, number 11. Now, everybody knows my beef with Ye. Ye, the producer, top 5 dead or alive. Ye, the artist, maybe top 20. I mean, the music is undeniable, but not number 11. There's a couple artists I would have taken over him. So here we get to the top 10, and it starts with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, the artist, probably. Nicki Minaj, the rapper, no. Little Kim should be a higher than Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is the evolution of what Little Kim was and is. So for her being in top 10, don't agree with that at all. And you youngins, go back and listen to all of Little Kim's albums and tell me why she deserves to be in why Nicki Minaj deserves to be ahead of Little Kim. Never. Never in the history of niggerdom. Snoop Dogg, no problem. Should be in the top 10. He is one of the top 10 greatest rappers of all time. Drake should not be in the top 10. Sorry, he should not. Drake the artist, yes. Drake the rapper, no. Lil Wayne, number 7. Don't have really a big problem with it. His longevity and his consistency. I'm not the big Lil Wayne fan, but he deserves to be there. Sorry. I can't argue with that. Notorious B.I.G. should be higher. Definitely should be higher. Should not be number 6. I have a top 5 that I would put together that people might disagree with, but it is what it is, and I will give it to you after this is over. Eminem should be, him and Big should be flip-flopped, but Eminem, no argument there. Tupac, again, another one, no argument there. He should be higher. Nas, no argument there. You never get an argument from me on Nas being number 3. Now, Kendrick Lamar shouldn't be number 2. Him and J. Cole should be back-to-back with him having the edge. But I have no problem with him being in the top 10 at all. And, of course, number 1, everybody's going to argue with, everybody's going to talk about Pac should be there. No. There is, and I'm going to argue this right now, the number 1 rapper they chose was none other than Jay-Z, Hov, Jigga Man, Sean Carter. And I'm going to make the case why he's number 1 right now. First off, he has more number 1 albums than Elvis Presley. Second of all, the white folks love him, so he's integrated well and still made stuff for us. And so he hasn't sold out. He's made stuff for us. Like this is not an album. Okay, I'm going to go through all his albums and tell you the stuff that he's made for them and the stuff that he's made for us. his first album, Reasonable Doubt, Can't Knock the Hustle, street anthem. Even though that's one of his biggest songs ever, street anthem. But on the flip side, you got Ain't No with Foxy Brown. I mean, the white people love that. Especially white dudes, that gave them the blueprint of where to go when they go cheating on their wives. Let's go to volume 1. What for the white folks? You got Sunshine with Babyface. Even though Jay-Z will admit he wouldn't have made that video with the shiny suit. But for the flip side, for us in the hood on the block, Streets is watching. Can't argue that. Let's go to volume 2. What do you have for the white people? It's a hard knock life for us. That is one of his biggest hits. White people love that he used that Annie sample. But what does he have for us? Oh, wait. And he had Can I Get Her? Which was on the Rush Hour 2 soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken. Or the Rush Hour 1 soundtrack. What? Love that. The people love that. And we loved that song too. Okay, so what does he have for us? Let's go down the list. Money Cash Hoes, which is a hood anthem. Where do we go? Oh, If I Should Die with the Rangers. Come on, man. Come of Age 2. There you go. Oh, so you don't think he can keep going? Volume 3, So Ghetto. Big Pimpin'. The Dynasty? Okay, let's go to that one. 1-900 Hustler for us. I Just Want to Love You for them. I can go on all day. And then not only okay, you don't want me to go back? You want me to go to recency? Listen to that 3-minute song that he did on God Did by DJ Khaled. Tell me different then. Tell me different then. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. Anybody that argues this doesn't know hip-hop. Should be smacked in their face and literally banned from listening to any hip-hop music ever. Ever. There's no fight for this. None whatsoever. And like I said, that's just me. That's just my thoughts on that. So before I get to this list, let me give you my thoughts on the Grammy Awards. Let's start with the whole issue with Harry Styles winning Album of the Year and Beyonce not winning Album of the Year. So, I listen to all genres of music. And what people seem to not understand, especially people in the Beehive, if that's what you want to call it, she can't win everything. And she still, at the end of the day, is a black woman. They don't want us to have anything. If they could if they could keep us out of everything, they would. But they can't. We run this right now when it comes to music. They love Lizzo. So this is my thing with that. Do I think she had the best album of the year? Do I think she should have won it over Harry Styles? Probably. But do I have a problem with them giving it to Harry Styles over her? No. Because this is not about her music. Granted, that album came out, Renaissance. I liked it. It was different, and it showed that she knew that she couldn't go backwards. She had to keep going forward in order to evolve. And she took over another genre of music. She took it to another genre of music and basically took over. But my thing is, why is it that the moment somebody else beats her out on something, the whole beehive gets up in arms about it? Y'all need to calm down. She cannot win everything. Harry Styles put in the work. Harry Styles was all over the place just like she was. And he deserved to win that award. And that's just me. As far as the tribute to hip hop, I loved it. I thought it should have gone longer. But again, this show is not about us. And I thought that they did an excellent job. They fit 50 years in probably about 10 minutes. And there's more they could have gotten to, but again, wasn't for us. That's not our show. But overall, the Grammys were interesting this year. Of course, Trevor Noah was a good host. I will say that. He was a good host because he was funny. And of course, the one thing I did like is that we as black people, we finished the show. Ricky Rose giving his consistent bars. Lil Wayne giving you Lil Wayne bars. But of course, none other than the man I think is the greatest rapper alive, dead or alive right now. Jay-Z gave us a 3-minute song and he pretty much finished the show. And they stole the show. Khaled, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z stole that show. And one other thing I wanted to just throw in there just because I keep hearing people talk about this whole thing with Sam Smith and the young lady he did the song with. What the fuck was wrong with that? Y'all just want to have something to talk about. Shut up. Please. Please. Oh, I know why. Because it was an LGBTQ plus type thing. And y'all just want, they really just don't want them to have nothing. And Sam Smith and that lady did a good job. Shut up. Leave them alone. What is wrong with them? You know what? Because they won't leave them alone, I'll let you leave them alone. Get the fuck out of here. Please. Please. Leave them alone. They did a good job. The song was a hit. What, just because they decided to portray something in a demonic way? What? Oh, so now they fucking Illuminati or something? Oh, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Plain and simple. Now, I didn't have anybody to give my Get the Fuck Out of Here award, but if I had to, the people who talking shit about these two, get the fuck out of here. And there you go. All right. To the grand finale and what everybody came for. As you know, and as I've been doing, it's 50th anniversary of hip hop. People know how I feel about hip hop music. People know how much I love hip hop music. It has informed my life. And So there's going to be 10 songs this week as opposed to the 5, only because I have to condense 2 weeks, because next week is going to be it's going to be next week's show with 10, and then my top 20 will take up the last 2 weeks. So, my top 20 and 10 more honorable mentions will be taking up 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks, and I'm going to do from 20 to 11, and then I'm going to give my honorable mentions, and then I'm going to do from 10 to 1, of course, to end it all. So, as you know, I've been given my top 20, my top 50 in hip hop, excuse me. And so here we are with my second set of 10. And it is titled aptly, like the episode is titled. This one is for the ladies and the crews. So let's go to the first song. This song is produced by KG, and you know him as a member and the producer for Naughty by Nature. Here you are with Queen Latifah. Now, there's a couple of other songs I could have chosen by her, but I think because this is the biggest one and it says something, and it should make the ladies feel good for this, and we should be following kind of a format for this. Nowadays, when gentlemen should be treating women with respect, and where women should be respecting each other. This is why this song made the list. As you know, it is UNITY, and here's just a sample of why it made the list.
That's a unity. UNITY. Love a black man from infinity to infinity. Who you calling a bitch? UNITY. You gotta let them know. UNITY. Come on, here we go. UNITY. You gotta let them know. Love a black woman. You ain't a bitch, you're a hoe. Here we go. UNITY. You gotta let them know. UNITY. Come on, here we go. UNITY. You gotta let them know. You ain't a bitch, you're a hoe. Instinct leads me to another flow. Every time I hear a brother call a girl a bitch or a hoe, trying to make a sister feel low, you know all of that gots to go. Now everybody knows there's exceptions to this rule. I don't be getting mad when we playing, it's cool, but don't you be calling me out my name. I bring rap to those who disrespect me like a dame. That's why I'm talking. One day I was walking down the block, I had my cut off shorts on, right, cause it was crazy hot. I walked past these dudes when they passed me. One of them felt my booty, he was nasty. I turned around red, somebody was catching a rat. Then the little one said,
yeah, me, bitch.
And laughed. Since he was with his boys, he tried to break fly. I punched him dead in his eyes. Said, who you calling a bitch? UNITY. You gotta let him know. UNITY. That's a unit. Here we go. UNITY.
So there goes with that. This is why I think Latifah should have been higher on that list. She had her lyrical skill. She has, but she can have lyrical skill and literally say something with what she needs to be saying. So the way I put this list together for this week was I jumped from the women and the crews and back and forth. So you're going to get a different cut. It's going to be a female cut. You're going to get a crew cut. So the next song on this list is Buddy by De La Soul, produced by Prince Paul and produced by De La Soul. Now, first, before I get into it, rest in peace to True Goy. Plug 2 from De La Soul. The hip hop community is more than that loss. But I think this song, first, let me say this. This song is completely different than what is going on today. And you'll hear it because let me tell you something. There's not one curse on this song. And on top of that, this was at a time when, we had gangster rap coming up. You had NWA, Snoop Dogg, Dre. They were getting ready to take over the world. And then here comes these three guys making music that pretty much everybody could relate to and loved. So, without further ado, here is the next song on my list, Buddy, by De La Soul, featuring the Jungle Brothers, Moni Love, Queen Latifah, and Q-Tip, and Phife Dizzog, rest in peace, Phife, of A Tribe Called Quest.
Listen to this disc jockey's introduction to Madhavani's Lazy Gondola.
One's about the KOs, the knockouts out there who I call my buddy. Now just wait, we gonna talk about Buddy on this plate. But before we let the herd out the gate, make sure all the levels are straight out. The jungle, the brothers. De La Soul, on a roll. Black medallions, no gold. Hanging out with bars, hanging out with mates. Buddy, y'all in my face. Throw the lap. Zimbrowski must wear a cap, just in case the young girl likes to clap. Ain't for the win, but before I begin, I initiate the body with a slap. Drop the beat.
So there you go with that one. De La Soul, Buddy. I could only play a little bit of it only because they still haven't released all their music for streaming. Won't be until next month. But that song had to make the list. It's part of my crew cuts. There's another song I considered, but I think that song is more top 20 song than this song. Although this song has a different impact, I just decided I like this song better here than there. So there goes that. De La Soul, Buddy, produced by Prince Paul and De La Soul themselves. So moving on. The next cut on this joint happens to be somebody that I'm almost sure none of you youngins know. I know because I love this song. And it's a classic. But I'm pretty sure most of the youngins don't know this song. It's called Moni in the Middle by Moni Love. It's produced by her and Steel. And Moni was a great rapper. And she's a British rapper. So you're like, that had the added punch to the song. So here is a clip of the next song. Oh, hold on. Let me get that back up. There we go. What? I know I added that song. Hold up. I know I added that song. Why it didn't come up, I have no idea. But again, here's a clip. Give me one sec. Why the hell did it not? That's interesting. I thought I added it to the list, but unfortunately, I didn't. So sorry about that, you guys. Wait, let me just see if it's on that. Oh, it is there. Okay, so sorry I didn't add that to the list. I'm not. I'm sorry about that. But here is Moni in the middle.
Brother, what is with you? You can't take a hint. I need to shove a splint between your eyes for you to see you and me were never meant to be. Your homeboy likes me, I like him too. Get out the picture. I get your point, but I'm not rolling with the punch. I scrunched up the letter you wrote me in lunch. In fifth period, I paid no notice to your emotion. My work is on the table, my pen's in locomotion. Every time I turn around, you're looking in my face. I try to ignore you. The bell rings, I race out the room. Zoom to another room, sit down. What do you know? The lover's in town, the other brother, the one I was to talk to, sitting 3 seats back, and I'ma walk over to him and give him the letter I wrote because my feelings towards him are ruined. You know, Moni in the middle, yep, Moni's in the middle, in the middle, Moni in the middle, in the middle, yo, Mo, what is she? Moni in the middle, Moni in the middle, in the middle, yep, Moni in the middle, in the middle, Moni in the middle, in the middle, yo, Mo, what is she? Moni in the middle.
Now, you listen to her, and I'm pretty sure you would not think she's British, but she is. Now, if you listen to her talk, I believe she used to be on a morning show here in New York. But if you listen to her talk, you're like, what the hell? Because she doesn't even sound like it. But that song, on that song, she doesn't sound like it. But when she talks and opens her mouth, you're like, what the hell? So, yeah. So there goes that next one, Moni in the Middle, produced by, again, Moni Love and Steele. On to the next crew cut. Classic. I think, you had Grandmaster Flash, but I think this is where really bodying somebody on their own song came from. This is The Symphony by Marley Marl featuring Craig G, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane. This is where it happened. And I think this is where everybody got on with the bodying of each other on somebody else's song. This was instant classic. So produced by Marley Marl, here is The Symphony.
I don't care who's first or who last, but I know that y'all just better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but it got to be funky. It got to be funky if you're gonna be on it. I don't care who start, I don't care what y'all do, but you got to be finished before the music is through.
Listen closely, so your attention's undivided. Many in the past have tried to do what I did. Just the way I came off then, I'm gonna come off stronger and longer, even with the drum off. I'll keep on going and flowing just like a river. I got a whole lot to give, so I'm a giver. Little at a time, new trails are blazing. Action is in effect and always stays in. Yeah, just like a shot from a cannon. I am the man in charge and I've been planning a jam strong enough that it can lift your soul. I'm the originator and my rhymes are made of gold. Once you hear the capital A, rap it'll stay with you for a while. It won't go away unless you force it, because it stays with you, my friend. And if you force it away, I'ma hit you again. I project my voice so it's right in the crowd. There's a sign at the door, no biting allowed. And if you didn't read it, I suggest you do so, or you'll be stranded, just like Caruso. Sleep if you wanna, go ahead, get some shut eye. A man broke his jaw trying to say what I say on the microphone. He should've left it alone, just for the record. Let it be known that my ego's only partially grown. symphony. The gym is
So there you go with that. Like I said, as they keep going on, you could tell that they were trying to kill each other lyrically. And this is not what is done today anymore, which I find sad because in the golden era of hip hop, you were getting on somebody's song. If I invited you to get on a song with me, you were trying to lyrically assassinate me. Now there's no competition. I do miss that aspect of hip hop, but you know, that's just why I think a lot of hip hop is not made for me. Okay, moving on to the next female cut. You've got MC Light, who again I thought should have been higher on that list. Now, this song is produced by one of my favorite producers, Jermaine Dupri. And MC Light actually will end up in the top 20. She has another song that I think is better than this. It's more superior to this song, but I love this song to be on this list. And you're gonna see when I get to the top 20, my top 20, you're gonna see why the other song is more superior. But this right here, this shows her lyrical versatility. Because she has other songs I could have put on this list. Light as a Rock, Paper Thin, Roughneck. But I like this song better. Paper Thin and Light as a Rock are more battle heavy songs. And I'll have, like, there's going to be some battle songs in the next set of 10. But I love this song. It's called Keep On Keeping On. It's featuring Escape. It's got a nice smooth vibe, and it has the added addition of having a Michael Jackson sample. Now, if you know what the sample is, email me at sowwhatyousaying5@gmail.com. Let's see who knows where the sample from this song is. So, without further ado, here's MC Light. Keep on keeping on.
B-boy, where the fuck you at? I've been looking for your ass since a quarter past. Hot peas and butter, baby, come and get your supper before I make you suffer. That's when you had enough of. Can I get hot when you hit the jackpot? Surely I can if you the man. I get loose and produce large amounts of juice. Can you get used to that, or do you need a boost of energy to enter me and get it on? You're getting warm, I can feel you getting closer. Now, baby, down this mimosa. You better believe it's time to give a toast to the woman of the decade. Too bad to be played. Get vexed and I'm bound to throw shade all over your body. Whose body? Your body. I can rock a party like nobody. Leaving time and take home the loot. Choosy about who I let knock my boot. Now let me take sight till you're loving the light. Life ain't all that unless you're doing it right. Come on.
Keep on, keep on. 'Cause you came and you changed my life. Your love so reckless. Keep keeping on. Doing it right.
Now, that has a groove that is just undeniable. And like I said, it has the added addition of having a sample, a Michael Jackson sample. Now, again, email me, sowwhatyousaying5@gmail.com. That's SOWWTUSAYIN 5@gmail.com. Let's see if you know where that sample is from. Because I knew immediately, at the time that I first heard the song, I kind of was like, I've heard the sample before, And then I actually had to go back, and I know exactly what's from, what song, and what album it's from. So if you know, hey, let a brother know. I know, but let's see if anybody else knows their music like I know my music. Moving on. Next crew cut. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, hey, why this didn't make the top 25? Mace is on there. That'll make the top 20. Mace is on there for another song. But this song right here, this right here is what a crew cut is all about. This right here. This song here is so murderous. It's like, I don't know if I could even tell people how hard this song is. This is 24 Hours to Live by Mace, featuring Black Rob, The Locks, DMX. First of all, this beat is phenomenal. It's produced by Derek D. Angeletti, who worked with Diddy a lot in the early days. But this beat is so hard. And I know people are going to be like, there's another crew cut you could have put with The Locks in it. Oh, that's on the top 20 because that song I think is better than this song. Kind of by a little, but kind of by a lot. But I love this song. So without further ado, 24 Hours to Live.
I want you to ask yourself one question. If you had 24 hours to live, what would you do? That's some deep shit right there. A lot of pressure. How would you handle it? Mace, what would you do?
Yo, I turn out all the hoes that's heterosexual. Smack conceited niggas right off the pedestal. I even look for my dad that I never knew. To show him how I look in my Beretta too. I do good shit like take kids from the ghetto. Show them what they can have if they never settle. Take every white kid from high class level. Show them what Christmas like growing up in the ghetto. Teach niggas how to spend, stash the rest. Give blunts to the niggas under massive stress. Give every bum on the street cash to invest and hope Harlem will blow up. Be my last request.
If I had 24 hours to kick the bucket, fuck it, I'd probably eat some fried chicken and drink a Nantucket. Then go get a job from Branson and make sure I leave my mother the money to take care of grandson.
I wish I could play that whole song for y'all. That song is so fucking hard. That song is so hard. Like, there's nothing you could say about that song that's wrong. That song is so fucking hard. Like it's incredible. It's an incredible song. Shout out to D Dot. Shout out to Diddy for letting that song fly. Cause that song, unless you like they did make a video for it eventually, but I think I kind of wish he didn't let it fly. He could have left it on the album because down Harlem World by Mace Platinum. I wish he wouldn't have let it fly. Should have let it build up and then let it fly. Because what people don't understand is when they heard that song on Harlem World, it was like people were fighting for him to put that out and let it fly. So he kind of had to let it fly. So, but that song is so fucking hard. I swear to God, that song is so hard. Like that song is so hard. All right, let's move on to the next song. So, next lady's song. So, this song made the list because as much as I am a fan of the way Foxy Brown raps and her cadence, her voice, I think this is the only other. Her first album, Il Nana, was the only song off that album. And I know people are gonna be like, "What about I'll Be with Jay-Z or Il Nana or Method Man?" The Promise with Havoc, who produced that beat is hard too. I know people will be like, well, why you didn't? Nah, I kind of like this song. It's a good and it's a hit. It's a smash. And this has another sample, if you know it. You know how to find me. So what you saying 5@gmail.com. I know who the sample is from. But this song, I got it with everything that Foxy Brown has ever done. This is my favorite Foxy Brown song of all time. It's featuring Blackstreet, excuse me. It's produced by Trackmasters and Teddy Riley. And here is, again, my favorite Foxy Brown song. It is called Get Me Home. And like I said, once I play it, if you know the sample, you know where to find me.
Yeah. Firm biz, what it is, Black Street. Steady ride, deep da-da. Hold up, let's take it from the top. I Fox gets my swerve on, floors pure rocks. In the 6 drop, bull, and it don't stop. See money looking alright, yeah. What up, Bob? Across the room, throwing signals, I'm throwing them back. Flirting, cause I digs you like that. Pete baby boy style, hoping we match. You sent me Crown Royale with a note attached. You said you look like the type that know what you like. I could tell by the jewels, you go for the ice. Plus, you wear shoes well, the suit flows nice. I don't like the notes too well, let's be more precise. Meet me by the VIP, let's powwow. Whisper in my ear like blue, let's bounce now. I'm about to say peace to my mans for you. When it's all said and done, I got plans for you. He said,
Come on.
Now that song is on, I think, every playlist I have on my title. Every built playlist that I have. If as you hear that song, her voice matches exactly what that song is supposed to be. It is so it just has a groove that you cannot deny. And having Blackstreet on it just solidifies it. Like I said, it's a groove you can't deny. It's smooth. She rides that beat. It's a spectacular song. Now, let's go to the next crew cut. Now, as I know, a lot of you are going to look and be like, why is this song on there? This song is on there because I love this song, but also because the Lox have maybe 1 or 2 songs in my top 20, and this song happened to be the one that got left out. So this went here, and again, it's a crazy song. It's a wild song. It's energy personified. It's produced by my man Swiss Beats, of course. It's just energy personified, and people who know back in the day, who were with me, who have grew up in the 90s, know anything about 90s music, know that this was the first song that they let fly after they got off of Bad Boy and signed back to Rough Riders, and went to Interscope, and it's the first song they let fly, and you knew they was back after when you heard this song. So here is the Lox, Wild Out, produced by Swiss Beats.
Crazy time.
If you're glad that LOX is rough right now. Come on, niggas. Yeah.
still wanna stick y'all with minks. Y'all would think y'all was chinks with a month of bad luck. I'm not hunting, motherfucker, and guess who the duck? I'm L-Man, you daffy like the Looney cartoon. But this ain't no cartoon, my bullets clear out the room. I said, boy, try and learn the fundamentals here, son. Like that rooster and the chicken hawk, I teach you about a gun. I place my money on one, I pull it out, you run. I wave it in front of your son, and both y'all is done. Blah! For God's sakes, what a nigga gotta do to make $500,000? Must I wave it at your children? Run up in your building, it go straight for the bank. Got the coke saran wrapped at the bottom of the tank. I know those tricks. Your supply is popping them. I know those dicks. Give me those bricks. Now wild out, niggas. Wild out.
You bouncing in the club, acting like you can't get it. What?
I mean, you hear the energy on that song? Do you hear the energy on that song? Do you hear the energy on that song? The energy on that song is crazy, crazy town. So, yeah, you can see why I had to put that song on the list. Now, before we get to the last two, one ladies, one crew cut, I want to thank those who joined me, those who are going to watch me, those who are going to watch me later, listen to the audio. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I do need for everybody to, let's get them Twitch numbers up. Let's get those Facebook numbers up. Let's get these numbers up, and let's break the algorithms that everybody have. So in order to do that, I need you to focus your attention on the screen and know that you can email me at sowwhatyousaying5@gmail.com. That's SOWTUSAYIN5@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook at So What You're Saying. You can find me on Instagram at So What You're Saying. Twitch, So What You're Saying. Let's get these numbers up. Let's get these likes up. Let's break these algorithms. Let's get into where we fit in. But if all else fails, and you cannot find me on anywhere else on those platforms, you can go to my link tree, So What You're Saying. You will find me on all the social media platforms. So, let's finish this off nicely. Let's definitely finish this off nicely. So, the last ladies cut, I saved one of my favorite joints for last. Y'all know what this is. Little Kim, The Jump Off, produced by Timbaland. The other two songs that I had to choose from were better songs. I think one of the songs made the list. I'm not sure if the other song made the list. I have to definitely look at it, but definitely, it had to make the list. This song had to make the list for the ladies. This song is produced by Timbaland. Beat is phenomenal. Anything Swiss and Timbo got their hands on, it's phenomenal. So, for those of y'all who don't know, here is The Jump Off by Little Kim.
Whoa. Yeah. Hey, yo, Tim, man, it's the jump off right here, man. Whoa. It's the jump off. I've been gone for a minute, now I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club, case something jump off. You back up for the high, but the pump off. In the graveyard is where you get dumped off.
All we wanna do is party and buy everybody at the bar Bacardi. Black Barbie dressed in Bulgari. I'm tryna leave in somebody's Ferrari. Spread love, that's what a real mob do. Keep it gangster, look out for the people. I'm the wicked bitch of these. You better keep the peace, or out come the beast. We the best, still is room for improvement. Our presence is felt like a black people movement. 7 quarter to 8, back to back when I'm sitting on chrome 7 times.
Set us on my beats with the Bentleys, the Hummers, the Benz. Escalade 23 trims. Jumping out the Jaguar with the Timbs. Keep your bread up and live good. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. All my players in the hood stay fly. And if you're ballin', let me hear you say ride.
It's Little Kim.
Now, what y'all know about that? My party people know what heat rock that is right there. That is a hot song. I don't understand. There really isn't too much anybody could say bad about that. That's heat rock. So there goes Little Kim. Again, she will show up in the top 20. For those of y'all who think, oh, where's the, we're going to be like, where the females in the top 20? Trust me, they're going to be well represented in the top 20 because they make some of the songs that I really love. And so they're going to be well represented in the top 20. And Little Kim's going to show up probably around 2-3 times because she's on she has her own songs and then she's on a couple songs that I really like. So to finish off for the night will be the last crew cut. Again, thank you guys for joining me. The audio format will be up tomorrow, 6 a.m. The video will be on my website next Thursday, and as well as on YouTube next Thursday. But, of course, if you're following me on Twitch, if you're following me on Facebook, you know where to find the video at. So, last but not least is a song that's very personal to me because it just touches me in a different way than most other songs. Tribe Called Quest, rest in peace to Phife Dawg. It's produced by the Uma, that's also kind of one of Q-Tip's offsprings. Like I said, this song touches me in a different way because at the time it came out, I was going through a little something, and I knew how this felt, and this made me feel better. It made me feel like I can get through whatever I was going through. So, to finish off the night, and I will see you next week, same time, same batch station, is A Tribe Called Quest with Stressed Out.
I really know how it feels to be stressed out, stressed out. When you're face to face with your adversity. I really know how it feels to be stressed out, stressed out. We're gonna make this thing work out eventually.
Yo, I ain't one to complain, but there's things in the game.
What's your name?
Consequence, I'm tight, burnt like flames.
And why's that?
American dream, they got this ghetto kid in the fiend.
Don't stress that, cause it's not in your bloodstream. Your whole being comes from greatness, do remember. Shaitan got you caught in the storms of December. And brothers on the block packing nines like September. Change the situation, get the pockets all slender.
Yo, I be on the avenue where they be acting brand new. I'm splurging on these Reebok joints for shorty boo.
All of a sudden, I saw these two kids frontin', talking out their joints, but they wasn't saying nothing. My hand was on my coolie, they was acting unruly.
Say word.
Yo, word up, yo, I was tight, caught up, but I swallowed my pride to let that nonsense ride. Because the positive, it seems that negative die.
Yo, we was at the dice game, making these cats look silly. Flaming, steady running off at the willy.
I had my cash mix, my rent loot with my play dough. I gotta see so loose, so all my girls I blow. Shook those shits in my palm, let them hit the flow. Kept my eyeball scoping for them pigs popo. I got to go on the app, see my parole by 4. But I got a steady freak these boys like JoJo.
And I was doing it till I met Ice Spike and Mike. One road, they had my pockets thirstier than Sprite.
Yo, I know the feeling. When you feeling like you feeling, you be having good thoughts, but the evils be revealing, and the stresses of life can take you off the right path. Jealousy and envy tends